Did you know that the Taiping Rebellion was one of the deadliest conflicts in history, claiming an estimated 20 to 30 million lives? That's more than the combined casualties of World War I and II. China, in the mid-19th century, was a complex and tumultuous place. The Qing Dynasty, which had ruled China for over 200 years, was struggling to maintain its grip on power. Corruption was rampant, and the government was plagued by internal strife and external threats. Meanwhile, foreign powers were increasingly encroaching on Chinese territory, exploiting its weaknesses and exploiting its resources. As China's economy stagnated and its people suffered, a sense of discontent and disillusionment began to spread. The country was ripe for revolution, and it wasn't long before a charismatic leader emerged to capitalize on this dissatisfaction. His name was Hong Xiuquan, a failed civil servant who claimed to have had a divine vision and proclaimed himself the brother of Jesus Christ. Hong's message of social and economic reform, combined with his messianic zeal, resonated deeply with many Chinese people. He attracted a large following, mostly from the peasant and laborer classes, who saw him as a champion of their grievances against the Qing government. In 1851, Hong declared the establishment of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, marking the beginning of one of the most devastating conflicts in Chinese history. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom was a theocratic state that sought to overthrow the Qing Dynasty and establish a new social and economic order. At its core was a radical ideology that rejected the Confucian hierarchy and emphasized the equality of all people. The Taiping movement was passionately anti-foreigner, anti-Manchu, and anti-Qing, and its followers saw themselves as the vanguard of a new era of Chinese greatness. The early successes of the Taiping Rebellion were nothing short of spectacular. Hong's followers, who called themselves the Taiping Army, swept across southern China, defeating Qing forces and capturing key cities and territories. The Taiping movement was marked by a high degree of militarization, and its supporters were known for their discipline, bravery, and ferocity in battle. Many peasants and laborers saw the Taiping Rebellion as an opportunity to overthrow their oppressors and create a more just and equal society. The Taiping Army's military campaigns were often accompanied by widespread violence and destruction, but they also brought a sense of liberation and empowerment to many marginalized communities. As the Taiping Rebellion grew in strength and popularity, it attracted widespread support across China. The Qing government, which had long been complacent and corrupt, was caught off guard by the sudden rise of this powerful and well-organized movement. Many Qing officials and generals defected to the Taiping side, bringing with them their expertise and knowledge of the imperial army. Hong Xiuquan's charismatic leadership and radical ideology inspired a sense of messianic fervor among his followers. The Taiping army was marked by a high degree of fanaticism, and its supporters believed that they were fighting a holy war against the Qing Dynasty and its foreign allies. The Taiping Rebellion was also marked by a high degree of social and economic experimentation. The Taiping government established a new calendar, a new system of weights and measures, and a new system of currency. The Taiping movement also encouraged women's participation in the workforce and in politics, which was a radical departure from traditional Confucian norms. However, the Taiping Rebellion was not without its internal conflicts and contradictions. Hong Xiuquan's leadership style was increasingly autocratic and paranoid, and he became notorious for his brutal suppression of dissent and opposition within the Taiping movement. In 1853, the Taiping army captured the city of Nanjing, which they declared their capital. The siege of Nanjing was a turning point in the rebellion, marking the high point of Taiping power and influence. For a while, it seemed as though the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom was unstoppable, and that it would soon overthrow the Qing Dynasty and establish a new era of Chinese greatness. But the Qing government was not about to give up without a fight. In 1860, the Qing loyalist general Zheng Guofan launched a counterattack against the Taiping army, marking the beginning of a brutal and devastating conflict that would last for several years. The turning point of the rebellion came when the Taiping forces were defeated at the Battle of Nanjing in 1861. The Taiping army was weakened by internal conflicts and power struggles, and was unable to withstand the combined forces of the Qing government and its foreign allies. In 1864, the Qing government launched a final assault on Nanjing, capturing the city and crushing the Taiping Rebellion once and for all. Hong Xiuquan died under mysterious circumstances, and the Taiping movement was all but exterminated. The aftermath of the Taiping Rebellion was marked by widespread destruction and devastation. The conflict had lasted for over a decade, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction on a massive scale. scale. The Qing government emerged victorious, but at a terrible cost. The Taiping Rebellion had a profound impact on Chinese society and history. It marked the beginning of the end of the Qing Dynasty and paved the way for the Republic of China and the Communist Party of China. The Taiping movement also inspired a new generation of Chinese reformers and revolutionaries who sought to create a more just and equal society. Today, the Taiping Rebellion is remembered as one of the most significant and transformative events in Chinese history. It was a conflict that was marked by idealism, fanaticism, and devastation, but also by a deep sense of hope and longing for a better future. So, what do you think about the Taiping Rebellion? Do you have any thoughts or questions about this incredible story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about Chinese history, be sure to check out my other video on the Qing Dynasty. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.